Hey neighbor, welcome back to ARTV. It's time to review the sophomore album 5 Seconds Flat by the rising singer-songwriter Lizzy McAlpine. You ever felt an otherworldly connection to an artist so intensely that it moves you in a way that you didn't know was still possible to feel? That was Lizzy's music for me. The lead single from this album, Doomsday, smashed my head in like a hydraulic press. Lizzy attended Berklee College of Music before dropping out to focus on her solo career, and I have to say, I think she made the right call. So much so that even though I know this review won't reach as many people, I felt the guilt of not telling you echoing in my subconscious, so hit that like button and drop a comment, it really does help. After falling in love with the intricacies of Doomsday, I went back through her catalog and was super impressed with what I found. Her debut album, Give Me a Minute, that dropped in 2020, is a folky indie pop affair, rich with Lizzy's instantly formidable vocal capacity, and while it's not all gold all the time, it's 100% important to hear and recognize the growth from this album to album 2. To drum up a comparison for what 5 Seconds Flat hits like, I'd throw out Birdy, Billie, Eilish, Dodie as some names that you might hear in Lizzy's second era. But more importantly than any name drop is the actual artist herself, because there's so many places in 5 Seconds Flat where I don't feel the need to compare her to anything else because she's so on fire creatively. As she battles the heartbreaking torment of broken promises and fallen idols, Lizzy puts the pen to paper as emotionally poignant songs pour out in droves in a really invigorating manner that's impossible to resist. Don't think of this as an all sad, all the time type of record, since songs like An Ego Thing are very playful and they keep it balanced, while Orange Show's Speedway closes out the experience on a somewhat hopeful, upbeat note, even if the lyrics are still laced with more curveballs than a Nolan Ryan start. Lizzy isn't trying to force lightning to strike the same place twice. It's all about connecting the songs together without letting anything sound identical to the track that came before it. I think 5 Seconds Flat is actually a masterclass in flow, storytelling, and emotion, and those three elements lay on the tension so thick, you'd need a damn samurai sword to cut through it. Coming across a unique voice or even perspective in the singer-songwriter lane can be tough, but I'll be damned if Lizzy McAlpine hasn't done exactly that by tightening her songwriting mechanics, ditching many of the cliches that can drag down the genre, and going even further to push her voice to the bone-chilling stratosphere. You'll find yourself drooling over the eclectic range of instrumentation. Not only that, but just the way that she's able to work in these hypnotic little tricks in the mix, and they stand out like little Easter eggs waiting to be found, as she never overcrowds the vocal track, yet she always finds a way to lift the sails like a hot air balloon over the ocean.
Doomsday is close at hand. I'll book the marching band to play as you speak.
I straight up cried the first time I listened to Doomsday. It was the night after Halloween, and YouTube suggested the music video. I clicked it, and I don't know how else to say it other than instant emotional high that just gets better and better the more times you consume it. Following the funeral march for the death of a romantic relationship, Doomsday goes from sparse to exploding and back again so naturally that I almost can't believe what I'm hearing. In a way, it's almost a bummer that this masterpiece is so ridiculously fucking good, because that lead single remains my favorite track on the album by a pretty comfortable margin. That's in no way a dismissal of the other 13 songs, but it's hard to deny how much of an impact Lizzy left in those 4.5 minutes. She thrives in that expanded environment, and I would absolutely kill to hear more expanded, longer epic ballads in the future. Reckless driving demonstrates a lot of wisdom in deconstructing a relationship, showing how, at least in this scenario, she's able to lay off of the gas pedal and be careful, even though her partner kinda drives without caution, leading them to the point of no return. Ben Kessler joins in with a wonderful guest spot, with Reckless driving ending in a roaring pile of beautifully mangled metal as their voices bounce back and forth like they're desperately trying to escape a flaming car crash. It's funny I mentioned the Billie Eilish comparison, because Firearm straight up sounds like Happier Than Ever with the big roaring rock show payoff after a slow start. But even better than that is Hate to Be Lame featuring Billie's own brother FINNEAS. God, I wish this song was longer. You could double the length and I would so be down, because it's also devastatingly impactful. There's a lot going on for a very short 2.5-minute song that starts like it's about to be a piano ballad before pulling the hype lever and exploding like a 2000s dance rock comet on the bridge, only to duck back down for a final haunting verse from FINNEAS that really knocked my fucking socks off. The meticulous care given to the flow of the track list and the album's themes does not go unnoticed. I really appreciate some of the callbacks. For example, the song What a Shame is pretty damn suave in the way that Lizzy goes about pining away for somebody that's already taken in a relationship, but at the end of the album, she kind of subtly drops the line What a Shame and Orange Show Speedway to imply that those songs are both about the same person. Called You Again is mysteriously gorgeous, soaked in hopeless intrigue with a beautiful guitar to boot. All My Ghosts revels in a newfound love while acknowledging the baggage that's been brought along from her past, and Ceilings plays Pretend in a string-filled twist ending that I didn't see coming at all. A few moments don't shine quite as brightly, namely Weird with Laura Elliott. Even though I do enjoy the verses, the chorus just doesn't really sync up in a very pleasing way. And Chemtrails is brutally gutting as it is, as Lizzy mourns the death of her father. Something about the simplicity here, and even the sampling, it makes it feel a bit choppy and lost, which is probably the point, but it just didn't fully grab me. Lizzy McAlpine is worthy of being called the next big thing in the new generation of singer-songwriters after delivering this gold-tier sophomore album 5 seconds flat. It's an outstanding body of work that almost never falters in its addictive sincerity, and the fact that she doesn't seem to cut corners when building an entire album experience, it makes it pay off that much harder in the end. I'm giving this a strong 4.5 out of 5. What did you guys think of Lizzy McAlpine's second album, 5 Seconds Flat? Hit that like button, take to the comments, let me know, and if you do check out this record, then let me know your experience with it. I do think that Lizzy is still kind of underrated, even though she's rising. If you want to check out some recent reviews, then tap the cards on screen. My socials are linked in the description, and I'll see you soon for more on ARTV.